95-year-old Oscar winner's body was found in his New Mexico home, along with that of his wife and one of their dogs yesterday. Officials say they had been dead for some time, and their deaths are, quote, suspicious enough in nature, end quote, to require a thorough investigation. Deputies said in a search warrant they found a space heater near Hackman's wife and an open prescription bottle and pills on a countertop close to her. The warrant also says there were no obvious signs of a gas leak. We have a reporter on the scene, and we'll get an update soon. We do want to take a look back at the incredible legacy of on-screen performances Hackman leaves behind. That included infamous bad guy and supervillain Lex Luthor from early Superman movies, which you see here, to more inspirational roles like basketball coach Norman Dale in Hoosiers. My colleague and anchor of CBS News Mornings, Michael George, has more.
Whatever you do, don't sell that cow.
Gene Hackman rose to stardom in the 1967 film Bonnie and Clyde, a role which would earn him the first of 5 Academy Award nominations. He went on to bring home 2 Oscars for Best Actor in The French Connection in 1972,
Charlie?
and then 2 decades later.
See what kind of books Mr. Beauchamp is packing here.
For Best Supporting Actor in Unforgiven, both roles bringing critical acclaim. Hackman was born in San Bernardino, California in 1930. During the Great Depression, his father abandoned his family when he was 13. Hackman dropped out of high school to join the Marines at just 16 years old, lying about his age to enlist. After being discharged, he studied journalism and television production on the GI Bill. Hackman got his acting start at the Pasadena Playhouse in California in the 50s, with humble parts like Town Citizen and First Mover.
Just one thing. How did you beat him?
He was a versatile actor, mastering the role of Superman's arch nemesis, Lex Luthor, in the 80s film saga.
I think I've been very lucky that I've been offered quite a good variety of things to do. And
Hackman played a president, military leaders, and then a nuclear submarine captain in Crimson Tide. He was also a coach with a checkered past in the classic film Hoosiers.
I don't care what the scoreboard says at the end of the game. In my book, we're going to be winners.
He says he was drawn to struggling characters.
for me, that's the most exciting, is to have dialogue with somebody while you're in peril or while you're conflicted.
Oh, God.
He showed his comedic side in The Birdcage and The Royal Tenenbaums.
Didn't seem believable to me.
Off-screen, he raced cars, competing in Long Beach and Daytona. He was an avid diver, which inspired his first novel. Several other successful books followed. He married twice and had 3 children.
Come on.
Hackman retired from acting in 2004 after a career that spanned 5 decades, appearing in 79 movies. Michael George, CBS News, New York.
For more on Hackman's extensive on-screen legacy, I want to bring in USA Today movie critic Brian Truitt. Brian, thanks for being here. I mean, Hackman went from small-time roles in theater to being cast as the president on the silver screen. I still think my favorite role of his is the coach in The Replacements. I love that movie. But walk us through the impressive legacy he leaves behind.
I mean, like you said, he started in the theater and started on TV. And, when he got in the Bonnie and Clyde, when he got his first Oscar nomination for supporting actor, from there on, he was just great. He was one of our great character actors. And I think Clint Eastwood said it best today when he said, never a false note. And, that's what you got with Gene Hackman, even if the role was big, small, if the movie was big or small, it was always on point because of what he brought to it.
New York Times describes him as Hollywood's consummate everyman. And you had mentioned Clint Eastwood. What other reaction are we seeing from his Hollywood peers?
I mean, just everything, just love, and I think, when someone like this, who's 95 and has such a, and he hasn't really done anything in a while. He stopped acting, Welcome to Mooseport some years ago. But kind of every generation finds something new. Like you mentioned, The Replacements. They probably saw The Replacements on TNT, and some kid maybe never saw Gene Hackman. Maybe then he goes and watches Hoosiers at that point. His stuff keeps getting exposed to generations after generations. And I mean, even though he hasn't done anything in a while, he's still well known and a legend.
Well, I got to be quick with you on this last one. I'm going to put you on the spot. So as a professional film critic, what is your favorite Gene Hackman moment?
God, there's 2. The Superman from when I was a kid, the Superman when he rips off the the wig and it's like the bald Lex Luthor from the comic page. That was awesome. And the cameo in Young Frankenstein when, it's like I watched Young Frankenstein when I was a kid. I didn't know it was Gene Hackman, in the bushy beard and as a blind man. But when, he's like, when Peter Boyle runs off and he's like, I just wanted to make an espresso. I didn't know what an espresso was when I was a kid. But like, that's such a great Gene Hackman role because maybe you didn't know it was Gene Hackman, but he still brought it all in that one moment.
True loss, Brian Truitt. Thank you.